1 second so I can just look. They've seen something in here. How gent.
I think you're trying to contact one of the WildEarth just to say that the skunk on CP and down. Very nice. Jane, did you copy?
I did copy, Taylor, thanks. We'll be making my way there. I've just got Marla alarm calling here, Zoe's Junction, Gowrie, Main.
Copy that. This is just a guess from our side, from. I think you were struggling, maybe just confirm that.
Copy that. Thanks very much, Mike, for your help. Goodness, it's all happening now. What have they seen? Let's just go back a little bit and confirm again which way they're looking. They were looking this side. No, they were not. Where? Where? What have you seen? Oh, there's a leopard somewhere here, VM. I know there's a leopard somewhere here. They're looking in this side, so a little bit further to back. What did you see? Impala occasionally make a mistake. That female's still looking. There. She's looking here. Oh, no, they're a bit confused now. They don't know where they're looking. Now they're looking all over the place. This is the problem with Impala. Hold on. Let's just stop and have a look at what they're looking at. No, there's something. There's definitely something there. Leo, you wanted to know if I look for colour or movement when it comes to animals. Bit of both, but generally movement is what attracts our attention or our eyes. Okay. I'm almost certain. There, he's calling. He's calling. The leopard just called. It's in here. I'm taking up my earpiece specs so I can hear exactly where that call was coming from. It's somewhere in here where those Impala. Okay, hold on, everyone. This is where you've been hiding all morning. I've been looking for this leopard. I thought it had transported itself somewhere else, flying across the roads. Okay. Let's try and calculate exactly how far it's facing away from us. It's walking away from us. I can tell because it's close, but it sounds far. Whee! Giving that deep sound that I'm absolutely a genius at imitating. It's in here, isn't it, VM? Didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's no doubt in Cheetah Brothers.
I think we need to go a bit further in. I need to listen. Come on, where are you? He said it was going to be a catathon, VM. We can't let this leopard slip through our fingers again. It escaped me this morning. Such a toss-up now. We've got to get close. It's moving away from us. We've got to get close but not be driving when it calls. Oh, hello, tree. This is where things get exciting and difficult. Exciting and difficult. Okay, now we start to check the termite mounds. Leopards have a tendency to move from termite mound to termite mound. It gives them a great view across the area that they're moving through. So if it is a leopard that's on the move, which it would be because the Impala spotted it, it's going to go from termite mound to termite mound. Just want to make sure I'm far enough in to figure out where this leopard has gone. I mentioned earlier tracking, I'm just concentrating, by the way, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just concentrating on looking. I mentioned the tracking's a little bit difficult at the moment because of the wet soil. Is it Tingana? Is it Karula? Is it Shadow? Could be any leopard, or at least any of those three. If it's Shadow, she's almost certainly going to walk on a termite mound. Okay, it's getting to that point again. It's been a few minutes. We're going to have to stop and listen. Come on, leopard. Call again. Where is this leopard? Don't blow wind. Not now. Come on, come on. Such a thick area. Okay, I'm gonna sit tight here, wait for the leopard to call again, and while I do that, let's head back across to Taylor. So we've got something very special planned. I need to just try and get over to Cheetah Plains. I'm going to tell you exactly what's there because I don't think there's anything hiding from any of you back at home watching. I think you're too smart for that and you will work out exactly what I'm going to. So there were some reports of I don't know how many cheetah, if it was two or if it was just one cheetah, crossing over from the Mala boundary north into Cheetah Plains. Now, we've still got a bit of a way to go, so we're going to try and head over there as quick as possible, try and beat the sun. Of course, the sun doesn't wait for anybody, and we need to get there as quick as we can. Now, I haven't seen cheetah for ages, definitely not since I've been here at Wild Earth. And I know Victor was wondering when the last time we saw cheetah was. Let's ask David. David, how long ago was it when you last saw a cheetah?
No idea. I don't remember.
David said it was so long ago that he can't even remember anymore. Possibly about 2 months ago or so. So that's quite some time. It isn't, however, it's normal sort of in this area. There aren't, unfortunately, a great deal of cheetah, so we just see them occasionally. But we normally seem to see them in the winter months. That's what I noticed when we're down in the southern sector of the sand, is that when it opened up quite nicely during winter, we got to see lots and lots of cheetah. Hopefully, as it thickens up in the south, the cheetah are going to move further back north. And of course, Cheetah Plains has got that beautiful open area, and they're able to hunt quite nicely on there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to race on over. We're going to drive a little bit quicker than normal, but not too fast, just in case we miss something exciting as well. But I know you're all probably itching and jumping about, hoping to see a cheetah this afternoon, and I'm going to try my absolute best to show you one. And the weather's changed again. This area is sort of reminding me of the Eastern Cape at the moment. Whee, over the bumps we go. And thank you, James Dungan. You've confirmed David's suspicions that it's been at least 2 months since everyone has last seen a cheetah. Going the wrong way. My GPS is telling me we're trying to go to a little round, just going the scenic way, of course.
And if you have a look at the sky, you can see we've actually got blue sky today, which is the first time for today. We're going right, eh? This is the way we're going. You can see lovely. The clouds seem to be dispersing now. Isn't that nice? And everything is looking so lush and green. Ooh, I'm just going to turn the game drive radar off. Sorry, I'm trying to just turn the game drive radio off. It's just there's a lot of noise going on in my ear. We don't need that right now. Now, Lucian, you're wondering, if the cheetah are so rare and we don't see them so often, are they not as relaxed around the vehicles as perhaps the other cats? Now, it depends on the individual animal itself. Now, we see it with lions, we see it with leopards. Some of them are a little bit more nervous than others, and the same goes with the cheetah. Most of the cheetah I've come across, though, in the Sabi Sands, is that they're quite relaxed. They don't seem to be too bothered. However, we did find a very young male once down in the southern sector of where I was previously working, who was very, very, very nervous and didn't like the vehicles at all. I encountered him once at probably about 300 meters away, really, really far away. I spotted him with a pair of binoculars, and as soon as he worked out that we had been spotted, he got up and he ran like he was chasing down an Impala. He ran so quickly. So we obviously called it quits and we let him go. And hopefully as he gets older and he starts encountering vehicles more and more often, they can start that habituation process of, you know, whether you see him at 300 meters, spend a couple of minutes with him and then leave again. Next time, hopefully you see him at 200 meters, a little bit closer, and leave. And you keep doing this until he becomes more and more relaxed with the vehicles, and then hopefully he'll eventually approach the vehicle. But I'm sure you've seen some of those interesting YouTube videos. I think it's in Kenya and Tanzania, where occasionally the cheetah jump on the vehicles. Now that's a little bit close for comfort, even though cheetah isn't really a cat that we as humans, as adults, don't have to fear. I'd still be a bit nervous if I was looking into the eyes of a wild cheetah. I think that's a bit risky. Be quite entertaining, but a little bit too close for comfort for me. I've seen what their claws look like. I wouldn't like to be swiped by one of them. Oh, and of course we have got a roadblock courtesy of the elephants. You can see this wonderful tree who has now stalled us. Elephants, if we miss these cheetah because of this tree, I'm going to be very upset, but we'll quickly take a little loop around. We need to come and get the chainsaw out so we can chop them all up and move them off the road. Some of them are a bit too big and I'm not quite strong enough to pick them up and move them. Whee! A little bit bumpy. Are you holding on, David?
Yes.
David's holding on for dear life. He's gone pale. He's looking for his safety belt now. We should probably get him a bit of Velcro and put a non-sticky piece on the seats, and then he can just wedge himself down like that. Up we go. Now we're almost approaching, we're on Cheetah Cut Line now, going southish, and we're approaching Agari Main, and then of course we're going to race on over to Cheetah Plains. Thank you so much, Paul. Paul says that the last cheetah sighting was in fact on the 12th of August. Fantastic. And this is why I'm so grateful to have every one of you watching the show, is that you're able to help me and feed me this valuable information. Obviously, I wasn't working here just yet, and that's quite some time ago. And I'm really, really excited, and I really hope we get to make it to these cheetah. Anything can happen. We are still quite a distance away. Oh my goodness, look at the Impala also racing across the road, and off they go. Running from I'm not sure what. They always seem to dart across the road. Right, off they go. And that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I apologize if I'm not turning over my shoulder all the time, making sure I don't bump any animals. Now, welcome James, who is a new viewer. I hope that you're enjoying it so far. Now, James, you're wondering, when are we going to see tigers? Oh, Oh, Jen, sorry, not James, Jen. Just because I'm driving a little bit quicker, there's a bit of wind. I apologize, Jen, but nonetheless, welcome, and I hope you've enjoying so far, and I hope you continue watching. We were wondering if we're ever going to get to see tigers. Unfortunately not. I have to break the bad news to you. I could show you a photo of a tiger, but we're not going to see any real ones around here. Unfortunately, they don't occur in Africa, so on the entire continent. You have to go to India and have a look at them over there. That's actually a safari that I'd like to do. And here's an interesting fact for you, is that India is the only other place in the world where you can go and see the big five. Isn't that amazing? But remember, we are live, Jen. This is one for you, and I'm so glad that you've already jumped on the bandwagon and sending in questions. But in case there's anybody else that's new and a bit shy to ask any questions, you're welcome to do so. You can either hashtag Safari Live, or you could even send us an email, questions@WildEarth.tv. And remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. You can ask absolutely anything you like about animals, of course. That's my speciality, and we'll hopefully, between myself and Jamie, will be able to answer them and tell you a little bit about what's going on in our wonderful life. Now, you're going to see some power lines coming up, and you know what that means. It means we've hit one of the main roads, but we're not too far. We're getting closer and closer, which is quite exciting. I have to hold myself back because I want to go so quickly to get there so fast. Right, over a little bump we go. Wee, little squeaky brakes. Oh, wow. Well done, Jamie. She's found what she was looking for.
I don't know. We found our leopard. Now, which leopard is it? Hello, my girl. Hey. Nice to see you. This is amazing. What an awesome surprise. So, madam, you've been the one that's been calling all morning. Yes, I cannot tell you what an awesome feeling that is. Having desperately sought this leopard all day, we finally caught up with her. It was Karula, right? It looked like Karula. I'll have to have another view of her face. I'm just so caught up in the excitement of finding her that I barely even glanced properly at which one it was. Sure. Finally. Right, let's catch up with her because she's calling regularly now. Let's try to, anyway. We're going to have to go back through this series of trees. And back once again. Yes. Well done to VM, who spotted her, admittedly as she was about to scent mark our vehicle. And we were that close. And I nearly went off in the wrong direction. I very nearly did. I was about to go back and check that carcass of the buffalo, but she's going in the opposite direction. Let us go and catch up with this leopard. Hopefully she calls again. And generally there's a slightly longer interval between females calling and male leopards calling. So the males tend to call more regularly. The females have a slightly longer gap in their intervals. Here you go, your catathon, VM, is complete. Well, not complete. The afternoon's not over. She's hungry. She's got quite an empty belly. Where are you off to, Karula? And Druha has obviously missed a few of the safaris and is concerned about Karula's cub. Of course, Sana, you wanted to know if the boy leopard got hurt by the baboons yesterday. No, he didn't. He's absolutely fine. They were seen that afternoon on the sunset safari, so they are alive and well. Both cubs present and accounted for, and both of them at the moment are on Little Gowrie, or at least last we heard. Oh, she might call again. No, she's just scent marking. And this is why post-rain is so beautiful for seeing these big cats, because they've got to go and reinforce their territorial boundaries by urine scent marking, replace all of the smell that's been washed away by the rain, and usually that involves calling as well. But that doesn't mean that if a leopard like Karula, who does have 2 cubs to feed, doesn't mean that if she doesn't spot something, she might not stop and hunt them. Let's keep up with her. Karula can be notoriously tricky when she's moving through an area like this. She does have a tendency to vanish. I love that about her, the fact that she can do that. And there we go, she might even go and pop herself on this termite mound. She seems to be making a beeline straight for it. And the air is filled with the scent of leopard urine, which smells like buttered popcorn to everybody except me. Sometimes I can smell it and sometimes I can't. I don't know what it is. Found a stump, it's okay. Rusty survived, well done Rusty. For those of you that have just joined us on these live safaris and are concerned about us driving over trees, just to let you know, we are exceptionally cautious in which trees we drive over. She's going to stop and scent mark again. So we only choose the species that we know are going to pop back up. I'll go into that in a bit later, but look at the stunning afternoon light. She's rubbing her cheek, sniffing the scent marks of other leopards, quite possibly even Tingana.
Thank you very much for your assistance. No problem. There's 1 mile station and 1 from outside, so we're going to keep it calm.
Awesome. Scent marking the fallen marula.
Thank you very much.
And off we go. We spoke earlier about the impact that we have when we drive through an area on the animals. And Juan, you wanted to know, can leopards use the vehicles to their advantage when hunting? And Juan, the answer is yes, they can. They have learnt in certain areas to do that. They're more than comfortable to move through or move right next to a vehicle. Just going to scent mark again. Keeping on the wrong side of the tree. There she goes, scenting, spraying the marula tree with just a little bit of urine. So yes, they can, and they do in certain areas. I think they do it more than we realize, actually. I think that they do see the vehicle as basically another object of cover, like if there was a convenient fallen tree or a termite mound, to observe whatever it is they're looking at. There are, of course, cheetah in certain areas that have been known to jump onto cars to try and use them, particularly in very open areas where they're trying to sneak up on their prey. They've been known to jump up onto cars, look around, and then use the cars as a barrier. I've had Amber Eyes, the lioness, do it to me, but she was using my car to get away from a male lion that was trying to mate with her, and she wasn't interested. So I certainly think that our animals are bright enough to realize that they can use us to their advantage. We try and prevent it as much as possible, though. So it goes back to our policy of not interfering with what's happening, either for the prey or the predator's advantage. So we try and put ourselves in a position where they're not going to use us. So this is right up on the fringes of Karula's territory, her boundary with her daughter's shadow. And that's why she's reinforcing it as much as possible. just stopping here. As you can see, she's walking a well-trodden path. She knows where she's going. She knows which marula trees she's going to go and mark and which guarri bushes she's going to go and mark. And that applies to all of our leopards. And Tracy in the UK, you wanted to know. Oh, goodness. You were just saying it's so wonderful to see Karula again, and I couldn't agree with you more. And you wanted to know if perhaps we know who Karula. Let's try that whole sentence again. Karula finds me terribly dull. She just gave a jolly big yawn. Who Karula's mother is and if she's still around. She's not still around. She was known as Safari, a female leopard with one eye. And with Karula being 12 years old, her mom has at some point passed away. Now, some of our viewers will know exactly when Safari did actually die. I know that there are some amazing photos of, again, fallen marula. Okay, let's keep going, I think. Let's try and get ahead of her, if possible. So trying to get ahead of Karula is a ridiculous thought because she doesn't pick one's path and stick to it. Some of our viewers that have been watching for many, many years and following the story of Karula for many years will be more familiar with the story of Safari, the female leopard, and when and where she died and how she died. Hello, girl. This is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Stations, I've located one Mfazi Ingwe. She's now on the western side of Zoe's Road, mobile north, sort of parallel to the road, but about 100 meters into the block. Sorry everybody, just have to make sure that the other vehicles know. Okay there, Liam. Lael, while we follow Karula through the bush, she wants to know if there is a specific path that the leopards will follow. Do they have a specific, how close will they stay to that trail? And it's impossible to say for sure, but they definitely have exact patrol routes. They have trees that they will go and scent mark. If I had to guess, I'd say her next target is either going to be that apple leaf that she's walking towards, or she's on her way to the next fallen marula. Let's see. There's a marula to the left of it that she might go to as well. So that whilst the path that they take to get to each marker might be slightly different each time, they will have regular points that they will stop and urinate on. Let's see if she goes to this tree. Thank you. Oh, or not. Okay, I got overly hopeful there that I was going to get proved right. Just goes to show. The other thing that they do is when it's a boundary like this between two females, they will make the same or mark the same places that their rivals do. So this could well be, because I know we see shadow. Oh, hello. Little lacewing. Yes, bye-bye, little lacewing. Sorry, no time to show you. So when we've seen shadow here regularly. She stopped, hold on. Body language has changed for a moment. Let's just see what she's after. She's just listening. She's moving into the wind. Standing by, Alex.
Hi, Jamie. Did you get anything further there?
AFM, I've got Karula. She's moving about 100 meters into the block west of Zoe's, but she's moving north. I'll keep you updated. She seems to be going slightly more west now.
All right. Copy. Thank you, Jamie.
exciting. Tingada me stranded, stuck in this block before. Okay, let's get around her on the other side of this termite mound. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well, we'll just sit tight here for one moment while I figure my way out of this. Nicole, you wanted to know if Karula is getting ready to hunt. She's definitely going to be looking for food as well as marking her territory. Her belly's empty, she's got those 2 cubs to feed, and she pretty much has to be ready to catch anything at any time. Next, Marula. She still hasn't called yet. Oh, just a short spray, that one. That Marula got shortchanged. Amazing the supply of urine that they have. Okay, we need to do this quite quickly, or Karula's going to vanish, as she does. Crystal, sorry VM, you're still on the back. Yay. Crystal, you say Safari was meant to have died in late 2011. Thank you so much for sending that through. My door just came open. Yeah, I'm going to try and catch up with Karula. Let's go across to Taylor, who's got another surprise for you.
Finally, we've arrived at Cheetah Plains, and I don't think we're too far now. David, how far are we, do you think?
About 6.
David says we're exactly 6 minutes away, so get your timers out and we'll see how right he is. No, we're coming up to 3 in a pan, aren't we? 3 in a row, that one, we're there, and we're going to go right just now. In exactly 3 seconds, we're going right. And I don't think we're too far, which is quite exciting. The amazing thing is, I have to say thanks to Mike. I wasn't able to get hold of anybody, but he luckily managed to chat to his people. He knows somebody who knows somebody else, and we're able to go straight into the sighting. So let's hope that these cheetahs are still around. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying these cheetahs, because I'm not sure how many there are. That is still a mystery to me. We're just going to have to find out when we get there how many there are. Perhaps it's that coalition of males that we've occasionally seen. Maybe it's a lone male or on his own. Maybe it's a female. We won't know until we get there. Like I said, I'm still going a little bit quicker than normal, but we are chasing after the sun, and that's an animal that we can't really view after the sun has disappeared beyond the horizon. Cheetah are predominantly diurnal, so they prefer the daytime. However, I have seen cheetah up and moving around and hunting on a full moon, but even then you hear all sorts of things on a full moon. You even hear birds that should have gone to sleep will often still be chirping, for instance like the guinea fowl. But we're almost there. Almost. And Cheetah Plains is looking so beautiful and lush as well. All the lovely green leaves. Not too much grass, but it's nice just to see that there are other colors than brown and gray. At the moment, you can see them as the trees whiz on by. It's beautiful. It's turned out to be a spectacular afternoon. I suspect that we're going to have an amazing sunset too, now that the clouds have lifted slightly. Right. Always also just having a look. You never know. I'm checking the tops of the trees. You could see a tail dangling down from one, or one of those rare tree climbing impalas. Of course, there's no real such thing as tree climbing impalas, but you know what I mean. It'd be nice to see another leopard, and I'm so glad that Jamie managed to find Karula as well. That was lovely. Oh, darting past over here. Now I actually have absolutely no idea where I am. I'm trying to put together where on the map we are, so I'll have to have a look once we stop so that I have some sort of idea where I'm going. But thank goodness for David. Oh, we've got a bustard. Looks like a black-bellied bustard. Perhaps I didn't get a proper view. Who are you? Oh, are you a red-crested Karula? And of course, it's gone. It did look like a black-bellied bustard flying around, very quickly zipping in front of us. But I do want to point out a buffalo standing on a termite mound very quickly. That is a beautiful scene. Look at that. Up on there feeding on the new grass that's coming through. I thought that was quite funny. It caught my eye. It actually, David, it's quite a large herd of buffalo. I don't know if you can see them, but they're all hiding in the thicket from where the buffalo is on the termite mound to that one, and you can see their sort of their shadows moving through. But look at them. It seems to be a decent sized herd. Isn't that lovely? But let's not waste too much time. Like I said, after all, we are chasing after the sun. So let's keep on going. And I'd like to hear how the time is going. Do you think David's going to be right? Is it going to take us exactly 6 minutes to get to the cheetah sighting? Or do you think it's going to take us a little bit longer? I suppose if we carry on stopping at all the little goodies, it'll take us 6 years to get there. So I'll try and not stop at too many things like the Impala, though we love the Impala. It's not that we don't appreciate the Impala. It's just that it's been 2 months or even longer since the last cheetah was seen. Now I see a pan up ahead. David, what pan is coming up? It's Cheetah Plains pan. That means we're almost there. I'm so excited. Please be around. Please, please, please be around. Oh, I see an elephant racing towards the water. Oh, let me just concentrate. A few fallen trees in the road. We don't want to hit them. Right now we've seen a vehicle. Hopefully they'll be able to help us and guide us as to where this cheetah is. I'm just scanning very carefully because they also blend in very, very well to all the vegetation. Let's have a look here. We'll have a very quick look. Oh, it's a beautiful big elephant bull, so we can't not go past him and say hello. Right. Just going to have a very quick look. Hello, everyone. Isn't that just a perfect scene? The beautiful big open plains, the lovely blue sky. Isn't this lovely? And a lovely elephant bull. Quite a big boy. And I'm going to ask in a moment where that cheetah is, which is quite exciting. Hopefully we'll get one of the guides' attention, and then they'll be able to tell us exactly where to go. Hopefully it will just be good news. Lovely having a little sip of water. That is actually beautiful. Let's snap 1 or 2 shots because that's too beautiful to pass up, I'm afraid. That lovely golden light coming in too. And once again, your screenshots will probably be better than mine, as my lens, unfortunately, is a little bit too long. Now we're seeing this group of elephant bulls, this old bull and then the 2 youngsters that are tailing him. The older one is sort of a mentor. And Eileen, you were wondering if elephant bulls fight for mating rights. They do indeed when they come into must, and when they spot a few ladies who have perhaps come into estrus. If there's more than one dominant bull around, they will indeed battle it out. But it's not a very common thing to see 2 males having a big proper fight. Isn't this stunning? And it's so peaceful here. Wow. They seem to be doing a much better job when you use your trunk to drink from rather than the black pipe that we saw the other elephants trying to use earlier. Much more effective when you're able to actually control your straw. Look at that light. That light is absolutely beautiful. And you can see how big that male is, how he is sort of towering over the younger bull, even though I know he's down in the dam. He is still quite large. He's quite mature. I reckon he's probably in his 30s, so he's still got a bit of growing to do. But you can see he's got some nice characteristics. Look at his right tusk. You can see how the tip is chipped off. Perhaps that is because of a fight that he maybe occurred. That's not an injury or deformity now. And once again, when you hear them fighting, 2 big bulls fighting, and their tusks clash together, it almost sounds like gunshots in the distance if you're unsure as to what you are listening to. Beautiful boys. So peaceful. I'm going to actually just take a moment to appreciate this. Wonderful. Now, what I'm going to do now is I need to go and ask this other guide about where exactly those cheetah are. So we're going to move on over to him, and hopefully he'll be able to help us out. I just can't stop looking at those elephants. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to Jamie, and I'm going to try and find out where these cheetah are.
Just look at how beautiful this is. The massive Balanite is towering over Karula. Nikki Austin's a favorite tree, and I think a favorite of many of us on Djuma. She walks beneath a giant of a tree. And we're still with Karula, obviously, as Taylor's made her way towards Cheetah Plains. And this is why Karula is so difficult to track. She'll be walking in one direction the whole time. And she's done a full, not even just a 90-degree turn. She's now done an almost, I would say, 130-degree turn. So not quite going back on herself, but almost. That's why she's one of the most difficult leopards to track out here. Which way are we going to go? Which way? It's the head. Oh, spot on, Marianne. You've done a fantastic job of answering your own question. Well done. Yes, that is indeed why leopards soar. It is to notify other members of the same sex to stay away, and in cases where a female is coming into estrus, to allow members of the opposite sex to find each other in their massive territories. So yes, exactly the same reason why lions roar. Contact calling, oh goodness, so that everybody has an idea of where everybody else is, as a way of keeping track and basically avoiding physical confrontation. She's going to mark this marula. Interestingly enough, though, she has stopped sawing. She hasn't done it since right as we found her, when she sawed next to the vehicle. See the change in body language? She's sniffing, she's walking into the wind. Monique in London, very good question, because so far that has been all she's scent marked. You want to know if she only scent marks Karula trees. Marula trees. It's been a long week. She only scent marks marula trees, not Karula trees. No, she also scent marks guarri bushes and apple leaves. While you were with Taylor, she scent marked an apple leaf tree. So generally the choice for a good scent marking spot is a tree that keeps its leaves regardless all year round and that doesn't often get eaten by animals, hence the guarri bush, or a large marula tree that isn't too large to be pushed over by elephants and is nice and prominent as a landmark. So remember, picture walking from Karula's perspective. Obviously, they know these blocks like we know our own neighborhoods, our suburbs, our streets, our city streets. They know them as well. But it's easy from looking down at that perspective. She's probably less than a meter in height from where her vantage point. She can actually look up towards the larger trees like apple leaves, marula trees. I don't know why that's so difficult to say today. And Balanites trees, the trees that really stick out. And of course, trees that don't have branches close to the base that they're likely to scratch their bottoms on. Now, which way are we going to go? Where to this time? she is on the lookout for food as well, which is one of the reasons why, just hold on, her body language has changed again. Oh no, it's okay, we can keep going. It's one of the big reasons why she's walking into the wind is to see if she can hunt something at the same time. So whilst our herbivores do it, they walk into the wind, so the wind blowing into their faces so that they don't risk stumbling upon a sleeping predator or a waiting predator. Predators do the same thing so that they can actually sneak up behind something. No, she has spotted something. Now it's just a question, is she going to go for it? No, she's moving out of the monkey orange thickets. So her senses are so much better than ours. She's listening to every nuance of the bush. The slightest rustle of leaves. Waiting for that one little antelope to make one mistake and attract her attention. What a regal stance. All right. As she moves off behind a termite mound, it has indeed been a catathon this afternoon. Let's go and see which spotted surprise Taylor has now.
Yay! We got them. They didn't run away, as you can see. They look like the two of these beautiful cheetah males have got relatively full bodies, full stomachs. So I presume that this is the coalition of males that you have been seeing over the past few years. Now, I don't know too much about these boys, so I'd really appreciate some help this afternoon. If you could perhaps send in a comment or two and let me know about the details of these two brothers. You can do that by either hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or you can send us an email, questions@WildEarthTV. Now, unfortunately, I'm unsure of when they ate and what they ate, but I'm glad that they just ate something. Cheetah, unfortunately, tend to have the short end of the stick when it comes to the predator hierarchy, being right down at the bottom, even lower than the hyenas, which is so unfortunate. Now, seeing as though you've just seen Karula, the lovely leopardess of Djuma, and now we're looking at the other spotted cat that we occasionally see. I know a few of you are wondering what the differences are, and I know Bobby Chair is wondering exactly that, what the difference between a leopard and a cheetah is. Now, I'm thankful that this male has got his head up, because one of the most obvious differences, and as I say that he looks away, is have a look at those lovely tear marks going down from the corners of his eye right down past his cheeks. Now, leopards don't have those tear marks at all. And of course, the other difference is now if you look at the spots themselves, cheetah actually have spots, whereas leopards have rosettes. Of course, a rosette is a black marking, and then it has got a lighter color inside, so it's not a solid black circle like you see covering the entire cheetah's body. And of course, there's a few other physical differences. For instance, the size. I think that cheetahs tend to be a little bit taller than the leopards, but not quite as stocky. The leopards obviously weigh quite a bit more, and the cheetahs are much lighter. And also, if you look at their claws there, and you see them, how they're sticking out, a cheetah cannot retract its claws like a leopard. They rely on those claws to stay out, to try and help them run as fast as they can. They need all the grip that they can get. Remember, unlike the leopards that rely on stealth and sneaking up to their prey, so do cheetah, but they then have this amazing burst of speed which allows them to race after the animals. And of course they need to have a slender body and a nice long tail that acts as a rudder to help them turn those sharp corners. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen a live cheetah hunt before. I can imagine there aren't too many of those, but if you've seen perhaps a video of them, you've seen how the antelope will dart and twist and turn and pivot on the spot to try and evade the cheetah, and they are always hot in their heels. We've also if you've been watching these boys now as I've been chatting away, look how nervous they are. And this is a very typical disposition of cheetahs. It's not because of us. They're very much relaxed with all the vehicles that are around them. However, like I said just a moment ago, unfortunately, they are quite low down on the predator hierarchy. So they do have to constantly look over their shoulders, even more so than what we've been seeing Karula doing when she's with her cubs, is because if something like a lion comes through or even a leopard, they could easily kill this cheetah. Now, a hyena wouldn't really want to kill a cheetah. The only thing it would really want to do is steal its food. But lucky for these cheetah, they seem to have got a good fill. I've even seen it where a big male cheetah had come through and was eating and caught an impala, and he was eating it, and he unfortunately got chased off by 3 leopard-faced vultures. Can you believe it, that a vulture, and of course the leopard-faced vulture, the largest vulture that we see, was able to chase him straight from his meal? Something's caught his attention. What have you seen? Just going to look over my shoulder very quickly, and behind me I could hear the buffalo in the distance, that big herd. So I wonder if it's perhaps not them. I'm also going to snap 1 or 2 photos while they are posing. They're looking very regal at the moment. And I hope that you are doing the same thing. I hope to see some of them a bit later too. The sun is just going down, which is making it relatively difficult now. You can see the light is fading. And I thought the sunset was actually going to be quite beautiful, but it seems as though, with the lack of clouds, it's not as spectacular as it could be. Isn't this amazing? And I'm sure that you are all jumping for joy. Well, I hope that you are all jumping for joy watching these beautiful cheetah. I'm so happy to be able to share this special moment with all of you. Oh, look at their fat bellies. Now, I'm just turning the other way. Sorry, I just want to put my camera down. Let me quickly swivel around before I lose wherever I'm going. I'm trying to push my seat as far back as I can so that I can move around here. Well, Sherry, you're wondering, how can you tell the difference between individual cheetahs? Obviously, as we're looking at all the cats, the more time you spend with them, the easier it is to identify them, whether it's from scars or a cut, a nick out of the ear, something along those lines. But all the cats have got whisker patterns. Have a look. Let's see if we can see here. It's very difficult. We never really ID'd any of the cheetah, unfortunately, down in the south. We didn't see them that often. We only used to see them in the winter months, like I said, occasionally. And then, of course, DNA sampling, which is usually done by Panthera, trying to collect scat. And that is obviously very, very difficult. There's a little plane flying overhead now. Let's see if the cheetahs are going to look up at that, at the big bird in the sky. No? Not too bothered by the aeroplane, or one is looking. There's the aeroplane. Right. I think let's go and watch the great leopardess Karula, who is currently sitting on a termite mound.
What an exciting choice to have to make between the Queen of Djuma and the 2 Cheetah Brothers on Cheetah Plains. We just had to rush you across to see this incredible view. It is so beautiful. I can't even begin to describe the atmosphere of this evening. It's warm, the colors are stunning, the sky is pink. It is just too beautiful for words. Exciting times as well. There are impala, probably, I would say, 70 meters away from where she is now, maybe a little bit more. She knows they're there, she has spotted them, and now she's just found herself a termite mound perch. so that she can see a little bit further and determine her approach. Our female leopard with cubs like Karula has her work cut out for her, particularly at the age that the cubs are at now. Their hunger is positively insatiable, as we've seen from Hasana's behavior. He just wants to eat all the time, and she's got to provide for them, and it's only her. Their survival is entirely dependent upon her abilities. Imagine what that's like in the way of pressure. It's not just surviving for herself, it's supporting two little ones as well. Here we go, a graceful descent. She stopped marking her territory now. She seems more focused on dinner. Oh, and a bit sleepy maybe. I spoke too soon? Oh, perfect aim. See how controlled that urine scent mark is. And here she comes. Her usual Karula comfort levels with our vehicles. See her sniffing? She can smell something. The problem with that Impala herd is that it comes with a herd of buffalo as well. And they, of course, she would prefer to avoid. She doesn't really want to incite an angry buffalo mob to chase her off a freshly made Impala kill, and they will do that. So for now, another scent mark on the knobthorn. Just the tip of the white tail poking out, and off she goes. You can see she's got the tail twitch now. A little sideways movement of the white tip of her tail. So characteristic. Looking up at that. What's up there, girl? That's of interest. Nothing. Love to see the world through their eyes for a day. As Karula goes bit by bit closer towards the Impala, let's head back across to the stunning scene on Cheetah Plains.
So I was just having a little look through some of my notes that I've been making of the various animals in this area, and I managed to find a page about these two boys over here. And one of the ways you're able to tell the difference between these two, now it's going to be quite difficult now because the light is fading. You can see that the sun has set behind the horizon, but the male cheetah on the right, if he is so kind to look at us again, his left eye, which is, of course is his eye furthest away from us, is starting to develop a cataract. And it's sort of like a white sort of glistening thing forming over his eye. So that's an easy way to identify him. And I believe that you can also identify them by the spots on the back of their legs. Now, I'm not 100% sure exactly how they do this. I need to find a little bit more. Like I said, we never saw cheetah enough that we were really able to get good looks and make identifying features. We seem to have a variety of different males coming through occasionally, youngsters, old ones. It'll be quite nice to see. Now I'm going to, hopefully, if the one that we're looking at now lifts his head up so we can try and find some nice identifying features that we are able to tell him apart from his brother. And I'm still waiting to hear back from some of you about anything about these cheetah. I'm not even sure how old they are. It's quite difficult looking at them. They're definitely mature boys, so I'm sure they're older than about 6 years old, but perhaps you could help me. As we're watching them, they're sort of sitting in quite a funny position. And I know that Jane V has pointed out that they're sort of lying from head to tail and then vice versa. And she was wondering if perhaps this is a form of a safety technique to try and look over each other's shoulders. Now, I wouldn't put it past me. It could also be just coincidence that they're laying in this formation, but it would make sense if you're a predator and you're not the top dog, that you're able to see all different directions. I wouldn't put it past me, especially now that the light is fading and of course the predators are really going to start to come out. Bobby, I'm so happy that you're now able to tell the difference between a cheetah and a leopard. It really does help though when you've got two different cats on the screen and you're able to see the differences just within a few minutes of each other. It's quite nice, and of course it can be quite confusing if you're seeing a cheetah for the first time or perhaps a leopard for the first time. So it's really nice to be able to see this. Look at that beautiful sky, the perfect silhouette of the tree, the cheetahs. It has just been an incredible day. Another wonderful day at Safari Live. Oh, a little rollover. He can't quite turn over properly because his brother's in the way, and I'm sure that belly is a slight obstruction too. Now, we haven't seen these cheetah for a while. It doesn't seem like they've come across. I know Brent a few weeks ago had cheetah tracks coming across very briefly, but then going back into Mala Mala. Now, cheetah don't particularly have a big territory. Remember, with all the leopards and the lions and things roaming in and amongst them, it sort of restricts their movement. Like I said, I don't know too much about these boys and where they seem to move around on, but it seems as though they live up to about Mala Mala. Perhaps they even go down into Londolozi, so it's quite a few kilometers, but I don't think it's a very wide range. I think it's quite a narrow territory that what they've got. I'm just trying to put all the properties together in my head if they're coming up here. And of course, they also like the open plains, so they would prefer to come and visit these areas. It is good hunting ground. When you are a cheetah, you can run around a few little bushes, but ideally you need to have big open space and flat ground that they're able to reach the maximum speed. They look exhausted after whatever they've eaten. Now, Lisa, you've asked a fantastic question. You want to know, what do a cheetah hunt? They eat a variety of different things. I'm not sure at the moment what they did eat earlier on today, it seems, or maybe even this morning. But they will eat anything from a scrub hare to an ostrich, to an impala, to a springbok, to a young wildebeest calf. Anything really small. Even a common duiker I've seen them eating before. Any of the smaller antelope, but I think an impala is sort of the biggest that they can eat in terms of antelope size. I think anything bigger than that, perhaps with these two males around though, they could take down something slightly larger because they've got each other to help them. But normally when we see cheetah, they're usually on their own. And I think this is the first coalition of cheetah that I've seen in a long time. I haven't seen more than one. The last time I saw a coalition was many, many years when I first started guiding. And like I said, it's been years since then. So this is really wonderful. Look at that, stretching his toes out. Safu, welcome. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you're enjoying it this far. Safu is a new viewer. Now, you'd like to know, do cheetah always hunt in a group? Not really. Normally, it's just them on their own. They're quite solitary. However, occasionally, like you're seeing now, you'll see a coalition of males. You can even have more than two of brothers that have left their group when they reach sort of sexual maturity and they decided to go off together. Or sometimes it can be a little bit confusing if you see a mother and all her cubs, and especially once they reach the size of mother itself, it can be a bit tricky and you may think that it is a big group of cheetah. Isn't that just a lovely shot? Like I said, that tree has been planted perfectly. All these cheetah just knew that that would make a great shot. This is such a lovely afternoon. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stay with the cheetah for too much longer. Firstly, because it's getting a little bit darker, of course. We don't want to stay here after dark. We want to give them their privacy. Isn't that lovely? They're not breathing too hard either. It's not too hot. And I don't think they particularly had a massive meal. They don't look like they've gorged themselves. They look nice and full. But if the opportunity presents itself, well, then I'm sure they will take a chance. There's actually some buffalo crossing in front of us. And I'm wondering if they aren't, you can see them just going behind the trees now, standing, listening. I wonder if they get wind of the cheetah, if they'll perhaps try and chase them. Will be interesting. Let's see if they change their way. Maybe they're going to go and have a drink before the sun sets. But we'll keep a close eye on these two males and see what they get up to. Pavu, you've asked exactly what I was just about to tell you a little bit about. So you'd like to know, are cheetah also opportunistic? And will they make another kill even though they've just eaten something? Yes, they will. They are definitely opportunistic like the cats. I want to point out that cataract. Can you see it now? In the cheetahs, or you just put it down. I don't know if you perhaps managed to get a screenshot as a cheetah was looking towards us. Now, there's a little bird coming running towards us. Look at this little brave bird here, and I'm quite keen to see what the cheetah are going to get up to. Come on. Oh, you're running very quickly. Run, run, run. Looks like a little Swainson. And they could just realize, that cheetah here. Oh no, but something to eat. And off it goes again. It raced off like a road runner. And those buffalo are actually getting closer. You can see them there coming around the tree. That is going to be very interesting to see if there is going to be a reaction from the buffalo, or perhaps to see if the cheetah are going to react to the buffalo, or if they're just going to sit nice and still and hope that they go unnoticed. Now this is very tricky light. It's getting quite dull and dark now. So it is going to make it difficult for those buffalo to see as well as what they would normally see during the day. So perhaps the cheetah can just lay very still. And there isn't much wind either. Beautiful. It seems like for now they've got the cover of the trees. They haven't been spotted. I think those buffalo either going for a drink, or perhaps they're going to regroup with the big herd that we saw earlier. We could hear them making quite a bit of noise, so maybe they're just responding to some of the calls. Yeah, it seems as though they're going home to the rest of their family. You better catch up quickly. There could be some lions around, you never know, and that would make a nice tasty treat. Look at that lovely white tip of hair as well on their tails. I just absolutely love that. They're so elegant, the greyhounds of the bush. The cheetah really are such beautiful creatures, and really need to make the most of a sighting like this, because we never know if and when we're going to see them again. And James Richard, thank you, and I'm so glad we could have made your day. I know that you all have missed the drives, and isn't it like you just said, it's perfect to have the cheetah and the sunset in the background all in one. This is really lovely. But we'll spend just a couple more minutes with them, and then we're going to have to head on out. Like I said, it's just getting a little bit too dark now. I don't want to bother these cheetah too much and give them a little bit of privacy too. But isn't that a beautiful pose now? It's almost too dark for me now to take any pictures. But I think grab as many screenshots as you can. Isn't this lovely? Oh, this one looks like it's got a little nick out of its ear. Can you see that on the left? Looks as though it's got a notch. So that's another easy way to tell this male apart. He seems to have a little notch on his left ear. Beautiful boys. But unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to these cheetah now. But I'm so happy that we managed to get a little glimpse of them just before the sun went down. We're going to say goodbye, and let's go back to Jamie and see how her afternoon is going with the Queen.
I am so happy that you got to see the cheetah as well. Well, we have an Impala skull, but I've just lost Karula. I'm sorry. She's gone into this drainage system off to my right. She slid in there. She just narrowly missed catching a daker. She moved in a little bit too fast. Oh, there she is. I see you, girl. I have no idea how I'm going to keep up with her. She's in there. She's right in the thick of the drainage, and I don't think I can. There's her little tail, white tail just bobbing. There, she's going to pick her way up that way. And gone. There she goes. I think for now, let's just see. I can't cross this drainage. I'm going to have to go all the way around. I think this might be our last view of the Queen. I don't think I can get this vehicle through here without seriously risking damaging it. Also, I think it's time for us to leave Karula to go about her evening hunt. Here's she going. I'm on the wrong side of the drainage line now, and it was hard enough getting onto this side. Let's go over to Taylor. What's happening there?
So, as we were about to leave the sighting, a big herd of Impala raced past these two cheetah, and they've gotten up now. Now, they've run the other way, but I see that there is another herd of Impala in the distance. We're going to give them a bit of space because it is getting a little bit dark. I don't want to startle them too much, but seeing as though they're being very nice to us and have decided to jump on up, I think it'll be worth spending a couple more minutes with them. So we're going to try and follow them. We'll try and keep up with them. I'm just going to go a little bit further forward. Possibly what we may do is try and get ahead of them and then just wait quietly for them to come to us. Let's see what they're going to do. If you look very carefully in the distance, you can actually see all their Impala. Right. See them moving along. What we may do is actually have to go all the way around and jump on that road, sort of in the direction where those cheetah are going. There's actually a road running through the middle. So I think that's probably what we will go and do. I don't want to off-road unnecessarily when there is a lovely road that we can drive on. You see, the one at the back seems to be a little bit skittish. I don't know if you can see him. He's looking over his shoulder, and every now and then jogs up to keep up with his brother. You can see a little bit hesitant. Once again, it is getting dark. I don't want to bother them too much. The Impala are now running away. Can you see all those Impala up ahead in the distance? You can see them just disappearing now. They've seen that cheetah and they know that that is not good news. So they're going to race off and move out of this area very quickly. And boys, what are you up to? Marking territories? You can see that tree is also used by an elephant, all the mud on it. Oh my goodness, there's Impala everywhere. There's Impala running behind the cheetah, in front of the cheetah, and to the left of where we're parked. Now, I think actually we're going to just sit right here and we're going to wait and see what happens. Let's see if they're going to come. I don't think they're going to go for a drink. They seem to be moving away now. We're going to see the other one catching up. Like I said, we're going to have to call it quits, not in a little bit. I can't put a spotlight on these cheetah. We need to give them a bit of space. Oh, you can hear the Impala. Turn the volume up. You can hear the Impala. There's now zebra coming onto the open plain. There's wildebeest on the plains. There are Impala everywhere. And the boys are moving off. It wouldn't surprise me if the zebra would chase them or the wildebeest all ganged up together and chase them. You can see they are staring attentively towards them. I'm going to go up a little bit further. Like I said, we're definitely going to be keeping our distance because the light is fading. Let's see if we can get another little look at them. I'm very curious as to everything that's going on around them. But now that the Impala know that they are here, the wildebeest know they are here, the zebra know that the cheetah are here, I don't think they're going to be very lucky. They may have to wait for the cover of darkness. Like I said, it isn't impossible that the cheetah wouldn't hunt at night. There's just a lot more competition around at night from the lions, from the leopards, from the hyenas, which prefer to use the cover of darkness. But there are always exception to the rules. And having a little smell. Probably haven't come through here any time recently. Now, Debbie, you're wondering if Impala alarm call at cheetah. They do indeed. Impala will alarm call for a variety of different things. For wild dogs, I've heard them going absolutely ballistic for. They run, but as well as snorting to alert the other members of the herd. You can still hear them in the distance letting off a snort. But not how we see Impala standing still, looking at lions and alarming. They know that these cheetah can run very, very fast, much like the wild dogs, and the wild dogs obviously can keep their stamina up quite a bit. But they rather keep and put a distance between themselves. Lions a little bit different. They know that they have to rely on stealth. They'll never be able to outrun an Impala, especially if the Impala know that they're there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to follow these cheetah any further. It's now getting very dark, as you can see. So we shall watch them as they disappear into the distance and go about their nightly routine. Very, very nervous though. Constantly looking over their shoulder. Moving very, very slowly, it's just slinking along. Seems like they've picked up the scent of something. You see that? How that tail is twitching and moving. It's almost like their brain is working. What are you boys up to? I can't see any more Impala close by. They seem to have all run off. See them smelling? Right, let's go back to Jamie very quickly.
We've just come upon a scene that I've never seen before, and we've gone into infrared. Two black-bellied bustards have just had a fight in front of us. Now the one is chasing the loser away. They were kicking at each other, and I think, unfortunately, that's the end of the battle, and I can't even see them with my own eyes, so I have no idea where they've gone. It was so cool. I've never seen two black-bellied bustards fight before. Let me see if we can spot them again. I think it's over though. I think the victor's just been determined. I was on my way back to that buffalo carcass, by the way, but I seem to be destined not to quite get there. Where did you go? Oh, I have no idea in the dark. Obviously, we don't spotlight diurnal animals, of which bustards are. They are daytime birds. It's most definitely breeding season. No, I've lost them. I have lost them. Oh well. It was definitely worth a try, if only for that the hilarity of watching them run away from us. Not from us, from each other. Okay. Well, I tried. Let's go and investigate that buffalo carcass quickly. How much time have we got left? It's 8 minutes. My goodness, I have to fly down Zoe's road. 7 minutes. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'll try. I'll do my best. Oh, I'm going to get back onto the road first. Oh yes, let's have a look at that. I don't think I'm going to manage to get to that buffalo carcass, unfortunately. But just have a look at this. Isn't this beautiful? The last rays of the sun sticking out from behind the Drakensberg mountains. And that's why it's got those straight beams of light. There's obviously a gap there. Oh, it's beautiful. Stunning. Okay, let's give it a go. I don't think I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try. We might encounter a hyena on the way. That's my thinking. Got distracted by those bustards. The bird is genuinely called a bustard, by the way. I'm not just trying to pretend that I'm not swearing, because I realized how bad that sounded. It's B-U-S-T-A-R-D. Those bastards, black-bellied bastards. I'm just gonna keep driving. The hysteria has set in. Okay, let's see if we can do this. But be careful, you can't drive too fast at night. You never know what's around the next corner. All animals are still moving about as it gets dark, and you've got the chance of things like scorpions and snakes coming out. So despite my urgency to discover what's happening at that buffalo carcass, I'm not going to race and risk injuring anything. Okay, I'm going to trundle along at the fastest speed I can. Let's go over to Taylor so that she can say goodbye after her amazing afternoon.
I'm very quickly going to switch off here and turn off all the lights because I want you to have one last look at the most beautiful sunrise that I've seen. I really can't believe it. Look at how that light is just coming through. Isn't that spectacular? One last sunset, and I hope that you have so far enjoyed the show. It's been action-packed today. That's really wonderful, and I'm really sad to say that I am going to have to say goodbye to all of you, and I look forward to chatting with you all tomorrow. So have a wonderful evening from myself and David. It's been a pleasure as usual.
Okay, we're nearly there, We probably only have about, 4 minutes now? Trying to guess at my time. Maybe 3. Are we going to get there? Oh, I'm going to try. It's such a beautiful sky. It's such a beautiful evening, and I'm so curious. I know those of you who are spotted hyena lovers would love to see them. Oh, hold on. Please let there be something there after this manic, dark race. I feel so under pressure. This time constraint. Okay, we're nearly there. Nearly there. This is where we got distracted by Karula. There's an elephant in must somewhere. I've just smelt it. Okay. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, everybody. That's how long we've got to get there. I'm gonna get there. Look, okay, it's hardly, we're really now just looking for the cherry on the top, aren't we? Because we've had 2 different leopards, 2 cheetah, and a pride of lions on a buffalo kill. So it really has been a catathon of note, and it's been such a long time since we've seen cheetah as well. Make sure I don't go driving past a hyena in my haste to get to the buffalo kill. It's visible from the road, it's just here. Oof, try and find it again in the dark. I don't see any eyes blinking owlishly at me. The hyenas would be reflecting the light of my spotlight. Could it be that our hyenas are so well fed? It was just in here. After all that, I don't think the hyenas are here. Oh well, I'm sorry, I tried. It was worth it. It was worth taking the chance, but if they were here, we would have spotted them. Whew, I'm exhausted now. So just a reminder for all of you that there are no more rehearsals for now. We are done with them for the month of October. We might have some more in the future, but we will keep you updated. But I'm sure you'll all be very happy to hear that rehearsals are over, and there will be some interesting surprises for you on tomorrow's Sunrise Safari. I hope you're all excited to welcome back, I say surprise, I might as well give it away, to welcome Byron back into the fold. He is here and he will be doing some of the drives. I hope you are all very excited. So, what an awesome day it has been. I'm so glad that we managed to find Karula, because I was starting to get very frustrated about the fact that we couldn't. After all of that, and this morning I was searching for her. This afternoon I was terrified we weren't going to find her. I'm glad that we did. And we'll try again tomorrow with the buffalo carcass. Perhaps the hyenas will be there then. Unfortunately, though, we have run out of time, and it's time for Viam and myself to start heading back for dinner. Now, on that note, thank you to Viam for his wonderful camera work, as well as to Rebecca and Kirsty in Final Control, Alex and the tech team, and the entire Safari Live group. Most importantly, a very big thank you to all of you. I hope you had an absolute ball and that you enjoyed your live safari. Thank you for your questions and your comments. It wouldn't be the same without you. 2 leopards, 2 cheetahs, and 1 pride of lions. Safari Live team, over and out.